at one point in my life, I felt like I was a failure. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, man, I done graduated high school, I done went to college, and I done played around, and and college ain't looking like it's gonna be for my life. So what can I do now to to feel like I'm successful and feel like my folks are not disappointed in me? There's one thing about a child: when your parents tell you they ain't mad, they disappointed, they hit you different.
Yeah.
They hit you different. And so comedy has brought me peace. Comedy saved my life mentally, because I was definitely in a dark place where it's like I didn't know what to do.
Ideas are cheap. Execution pays. Welcome to the execution lab. This ain't talk, this ain't theory. We don't wait till the path get clear. If you got a dream and you serious, clock in, yeah, we execute in here. Plan it, test it, break it, rebuild.
What if your job was literally to make people laugh and still you had to fight the feeling of self-doubt, isolation, and the feeling that it wasn't moving fast enough? Well, my guest today, Lamar Pullom, better known as comedian LP. He's on the airwaves every morning on 105.1 The Block, putting up stand-up shows, creating content. Now he's stepping into actual playwriting. But this is not a story about overnight success. This is about the moment he realized that talent alone gets you in the room, but business is what keeps you there. This is the Execution Lab. I'm DeAndre. Let's work. This is
Yes,
the
sir.
Execution Lab. I'm DeAndre. Let's work. So Lamar, welcome to the Execution Lab. I'm so excited to have you with us today. We had some schedule conflicts, but we are here today. I'm excited, man. So welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, for real, for real. You know, I saw you at my other job, and I said, man, I've been paying attention.
That's right. I'm like, let's go. Put you on there.
Yeah.
Listen, for the person who just found out what this podcast is, or they don't know who comedian LP is yet, tell them who you are and what you're building right now.
I'm comedian LP, aka Lamar Pullom, 4-foot giant, on the radio station, on your airways each and every morning in the West Alabama area from 6 to 10 in the morning on the Big Dog Dre Day Show in the morning with your boy LP. And then from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday, from my midday show. Also, I'm on my own show, Comedian LP's Laugh Lab, on Sunday from 2 to 7. So make sure y'all tune in, lock in with your boy. And when you get a chance to download that 105.1 The Block app.
All right. And look, on the back end, we're gonna put all the stuff. He's gonna give that again, and we'll put it down in the link so y'all can make sure y'all connect with him. So let's hop right in, man. You had said that comedy is your way of helping people escape and feel understood. I want you to unpack that. Why is that the lane that you chose, and what does that actually mean when you're on stage or you're on air?
Laughter is healing for the soul, you know, and you never know what a person is going through. And I've had several situations where after a show, a person or people will walk up to me and be like, I needed that laugh. I was going through a lot and I didn't even want to come out, but I came out to see this show and I didn't realize how much laughter will be able to help me through my situation. And that's been me even before I became a comedian. Growing up as a child, I just always wanted to see people smile. If you're going through something and I see you frowning, you know, my head kind of tipped to the side, like why is your head down? Why are you sad? Why are you upset? Let me tell you something to make you smile. Let me encourage you to make sure that whatever you're going through, you're gonna make it through. You're gonna get through this. And not only was that a testament to people, there was a testament also to myself because, you know, going through my battles and situations mentally and physically throughout my life, I had to continue to smile through it all. So that's where it all started from.
So okay, so let's back up some. I want people to get the full story. So you were actually studying social work at a community college, Shelton State. Like, look, so where does a comedy and radio career come from? Like in that context, was there a moment where you said, "Oh, this ain't it"? So walk me through that.
it it absolutely was. It was I think probably my second year at Shelton State Community College, my HBCU, by the way. It was at a point where I just sat in the cafeteria area and I just was like, man, this ain't it. Like, I want to do social work. And I got into social work because I wanted to continue to help people throughout their lives. But I was like, something just kept telling me, like, this ain't it. This ain't my ministry. This ain't the area I'm supposed to be in. And I don't lie, like my folks, they ain't like to hear that, but I had to show them and let them know, like, hey, this is the area I'm going in, and this is where God called me to be. So I had to kind of not, I guess, prove to them because it was rough in the beginning. Them first 2, 3 years of me being on stage and I'm not in school. And, I had my bad moments because I had to find my footing on stage as far as my stand up and my material. And so it's been pretty nice when my pops was like, you know what? He still got time to register for that fall semester. Let's go ahead and get him back in. But I stuck with it. I stayed the course. I kept my faith, and here we are now, 11 years later.
So you had mentioned, you said early on, like one of your biggest mistakes was not treating your talent like a business. So break that down for us. What does treating it like a business actually look like for a comedian and a radio personality?
You are your business. You are your brand each and every day that you step outside. Um, Sometimes you get in the realm where you could just, or where you just feel like all I got to do is perform. But that's not the case. Wherever you step out at, people recognize you from your stage to the radio. And then even when it comes down to business, people will feel like, oh, I know you personally. So you gonna cut me a deal because I know you personally. And those same people that know me personally have also been the ones that have stepped on me and stepped over me business wise because we know each other. And that's been from church members to regular like civilians, whatever people I went to school with. Everybody has showed me their true colors when it comes down to handling business. That's a different, site versus personal. And my mama had to tell me, she was like, there's a difference between personal and business. So I had to learn that because I would get I would feel some type of way, especially if I see somebody doing an event and I'll be like, well, they know I do comedy, they know I host, why they want X, Y, and Z. And then my mom will be like, well, how do you promote yourself? How do you present yourself to the masses? Do you put it out there as often as you should, that you host, that you do these events, that you do that event? How do you move? How do you operate? And it's all about paperwork and there's a lot of logistics that come behind the business aspect. So you have certain people out there that literally only do stand up, but they don't take time out to learn the business. And with comedy, it's 80% business, 20% funny. So you can be funny all day, but that's not going to get you as far as learning the business of it all.
Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself this is the year and then watched another year pass without the same results? How many books are sitting on your shelf you've read but never applied? How many goals are still on your vision board from 2, 3, maybe 5 years ago? Look, and I'm not here to make you feel bad. I've been there. I know what it's like to have the vision but feel stuck in the same place. And here's what I've learned after years of studying this, living this, and helping others break through. You don't have an information problem. You have an execution problem. And the solution is not another course. It's not more motivation. The solution is getting clear on what exactly is blocking your execution, the patterns you can't see, the beliefs you don't even know you're carrying, and building a strategy that's specific to you. That's exactly what we do on the one-on-one execution strategy call. 60 minutes, just you and me, no fluff, no generic advice. We're going to go. We're going to get clear on exactly what you want, not what you think you should want. We're going to identify the hidden blocks that have been killing your execution without you even realizing it. And we're going to build a personalized action plan with real steps that you can execute immediately. Now listen, let me be clear. It's not a rah-rah motivation session. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And if you're not ready for that, if you want somebody else, just going to hype you up, this is not for you. But if you're tired of planning and ready to start executing, if you know you're capable of more, you're done making excuses for why it hadn't happened yet. If you're ready to close that gap between knowing and doing, listen, scroll down or scroll back up and book your session right now, because here's the truth. Knowledge without execution is just entertainment. And on this call, the entertainment stops and the execution starts. I'll see you there. Yeah, that's good. And that's kind of the trend, man. What we found out, what especially our guests here on the Execution Lab, is that, in the past I had a magician on, and I think the last one was someone that was in grants, and she found out that as well. And you just got to know your value, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
people don't go to, just say, the store. They don't go to Walmart, or they don't go to Chick-fil-A. They don't go to asking for a value. This is price, and you pay it. Right? And
Right.
so if they can't pay you, that's fine. Somebody can.
That part, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a part of business that a lot of young entrepreneurs do struggle with. So thank you for bringing that out. You mentioned that saying yes to everything was one of your problems in the beginning, and not really setting boundaries, not valuing your time. Give me some examples. What did that cost you?
It cost me time. I was accepting anything that was thrown in my face. Whether I was capable of doing it or whether it was an area that I knew I shouldn't have really been in. Like, I was just accepting stuff left and right. And then I was accepting the minimum.
Mm,
Because I have to know my worth. If I
yes,
don't know my worth, you will have people out there that will show you how they value you.
that's right.
And as long as you allow people to show you how they value you, you'll never know your true worth. So I was allowing people to control that narrative. So it's like, if I'm expecting to get $500 from this show, but because I haven't put it out there that this is my price, this is my worth, and then somebody comes up and offer me, "Hey, we need you to do an hour for $200." Because I haven't put that out there, I haven't let them know my standards and my worth. They're gonna feel like, "Hey, you gonna take it because you just want to get on stage," and that's what I was doing. I was doing 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hosting for 4 and 5 hours, and getting the bare minimum of $200-300. And I'm like, "Hey, yo, this ain't this ain't working out for me right now."
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good, man. That's good. I had that personal experience myself. Someone asked me to come in and do some training for their team, for their entire team. So I was like, okay, well, you need the hour. They said, I need all day. I said, okay, all day. All right, we can do that. But you want all day training, you got to pay all day rates.
fact.
And so it was about the same, Lamar. It's about 250. I said, 250 what? And it was about, it was about 3 hours from here. So then they said, well, most we can do is 5. I said, no, that's fine. Just
Mhm.
not for me.
Right,
It's just not for me, because my time is way more valuable than money. Uh,
right.
because you can get more money, but when your time run out, that's it.
Yeah.
So some things you do have to just turn down when you do know your value. So that is good. I want to kind of transition a little bit. In any industry, especially this one, I know having a mentor, having someone that you can model yourself after is extremely important. And you mentioned your big brother in comedy, Jermaine Funnyman Johnson. How did watching how he moves shape how you started thinking about your own brand?
Been a fan of his since. So let's back up. He was my substitute teacher when I was in 6th grade,
Okay,
and
I'm
I
sure he'll
knew
be
of
glad
him
to hear
then.
that. That's all his
Yes,
age.
yes. He was my substitute teacher in 6th grade, so I knew of him then, and I followed him back then. And then, of course, DP, we used to pretty much be rivals with them and College Hill. So it's like it went from me learning and watching him move just as a student from school to now I'm in the industry with him. And as soon as he found out I was doing comedy, he was taking me everywhere. He was putting me in all type of rooms. I was performing at colleges. I'm up here at UAB in the student lounge. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? How are we gonna tell jokes in the student lounge? And he put me everywhere. And to this day, I'm thankful for the opportunities that he was giving me, because it's like I didn't realize how much there was gonna be a very pivotal moment in my career for me to learn to be able to perform at schools, perform in corporate rooms, versus me being used to the chicken shacks and the hole in the walls. And oh, if I ain't at the Stardome, then I just accept whatever. So he showed me a different aspect early on in my career, and I forever am grateful for that.
Oh, that's awesome. So for all business owners out there, listen, you want a cheat code, get a mentor.
Yes, yes,
You want a cheat code, find you a mentor and be humble enough to just serve them. Be humble enough
yes.
just to serve. Hey, what can I do for you? And so big shout out, Funny Man, for doing that, man. You know, a lot of people don't reach back and pull others up because getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of my pie. And so
Right.
a big shout out to him, man, for doing that. You said that there was a moment where everything looked good on the outside, but internally you hit a wall. And so that tension, looking successful while feeling stuck, that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs don't talk about. So walk us through that. What was that actually like?
A lot of people, DP, they count your pockets. They see what you do on social media. They follow your flyers. They follow the events that you do, and they just feel like you live in lavish. You know what I'm saying? And that money or those opportunities might not, be as big as people think that they are. Like you hear me on the radio, you see me doing comedy, you see me writing plays, but then people think that I'm out here in the mansion living, my best life. And reality is, and a lot of celebrities have said this, my bank account doesn't match my success. And a lot of people have to understand in this industry, it comes with patience. That's why I tell people all the time that say that they want to do comedy. You have to have patience because the money ain't in it in the beginning. Not. It's not even in it halfway through. For some people that are blessed to 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 experience, shooting straight to the top after 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
God bless them. But there are others like myself that are 11 years in, and I'm doing good, but I definitely this is not my ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I want to go higher. I want to go further, and that time sometimes that gets discouraging after a while because it's like, man, I'm doing X, Y, Z. Why is this not working? I've been out here. I've been consistent. I've been standing in front of people. I've been networking. Why is this not happening for me? And it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I don't have moments currently. Don't have moments where it's like, man, like, am I really gonna be able to, continue pushing
Mm-hmm.
through this another 10 years? You know what I'm saying? If I don't see the results that I want for my life. But that's where faith kicks in. Cause you don't see faith. You know what I'm saying? Although you have it, it's not standing in front of you to see. So you have to have faith in God to know that what He has in store for your life is on the way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That old song may not come when you want it, but he'll sure enough be right on time.
Come on now.
That is a statement that I have to this day witnessed each and every time I get in that moment of, well, what if or why is it not? Those are those moments. So I'm human at the end of the day. I post morning messages every day, motivating people about keep pushing, fighting through depression, stress. But I go through those same things. So sometimes when I post those morning messages, it doesn't be, it's not a morning message to help others sometimes. It's to help me get through
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's good, man. Oh, and basically you're talking real life stuff, man, and that's good. And we often hear a lot of times about how like your performers, you know, Prince and Michael Jackson, all that, they were like really introverts off stage. You know,
right,
even Dave Chappelle, you know,
right,
they're like
right.
off stage, he told him he's to himself. Like so tell me about this, man. You talk about relationships, about stress and different pressures, stuff that people go through. And you really what you're doing, you're turning those things into something people can laugh at instead of crying over or
Yeah.
feel crushed by. So how do you walk that line between relatability and actually being funny?
Um, Kevin Hart had a comedy special called Laugh at My Pain. And a lot of folks didn't understand that everything that he was telling and talking about in that comedy special really happened.
Yeah.
He found humor in dark places of his life. His mama passing, his dad being on drugs, him being in a domestic violence relationship with his wife at the time, his kids, his career, his friends. All of these things came into an aspect, but it's like for me, it's the same thing. Like relationships, family issues, all of these things you have to deal with that internally first before you're able to be comfortable to go out and present that to the world. And so it's almost like you got to have a come to Jesus moment or a talk with yourself, you know what I'm saying, and get through that internally. Like, you know me and you know my folks' background, like
Mhm, mhm.
very spiritual. So I have to deal with that, isolate myself, and just really be able to. It's almost like I'm in a shell, and it's like I really until I'm able to crack open that shell and blossom the way I want to, I'm gonna continue to hibernate in that shell and mold myself into the form that I need to be for me to be able to present my material to the world. Because if you one thing about comedy, if you get out there on that stage and you're not sure of the material that comes out your mouth,
Yeah,
the people in the crowd are gonna know it, they're gonna see
yeah,
it, they're gonna feel it. If
yeah.
you don't believe it, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. I tell anybody this is not easy at all. It comes with mental, it comes with spiritual, it comes with physical. It's all of that can become draining. And what do you do at the moment where mentally you're out of it?
Mm,
Physically you're out of it. Spiritually you out of it. And a lot of people don't understand that you can be spiritual and still be tired.
mm. That's good.
That's what the Christians be like, well, I'm never tired, too tired to say that I don't want to pray. I don't those are the ones that be lying. Cause like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a firm believer in God, but I have had my moments where it's like I don't want to pray.
yeah.
I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. Why is this still happening to me? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be in my element by myself. Just leave me alone. And that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But eventually, you're going to have to come up out of that and let yourself know, like, hey, it ain't always going to be easy. But as long as you put your best foot forward, as long as you look forward and understand that that darkness at the end of that tunnel is always gonna be light at the end of
Yeah.
that tunnel. You're gonna make it through. You wake up every day. Everybody has the same 24 hours to wake up and be productive. So each day, whether you take an hour out your day to just speak positivity over your life, if you got a mirror in your house, give yourself affirmations, words
Yeah.
of affirmation. That's my love language. Give yourself words of affirmation to let yourself know you are enough. You are good enough and whatever elements you are to continue to move forward and do what needs to be done to elevate yourself.
Good, good, man. You talk my language now, man. Don't get me fired up in here. You know
Hey,
we
man.
grown. You know, come on now. You know, I'm all about the positive affirmation, man, because because we do live in a negative world. When you
Yeah,
look at the news and everything else, and 90% of our thoughts are negative. So you have to be intentional about you know, repeating positive affirmation. You got to be intentional about talking to yourself. I tell people all the time, it don't matter what other people say to you. What matters most is what you say to yourself.
facts.
That's
Right,
that's what matters most. So what are you saying to yourself? And so
right,
that's good, man. That's good, and it's really good to hear even from someone whose job is to make people laugh. Like
right.
you still have those times where like just get out my face. I don't want to talk to nobody right now. I've been pouring out. I've been on stage. I've been making people laugh. I'm peopled out for a minute.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let
Give
me
me
sit
that
here and watch
moment.
the game, right? And give me something to eat and leave me alone for a day. Just let me
Just give me
recharge.
a second. Yeah.
I get it, man. I get it. I get it. You mentioned the framework. I want you to walk me through it. You said the create, connect, execute approach. So the create, connect, execute approach. What does that look like in a real day? What is that? Create, connect, execute approach.
When you wake up in the morning, what is your mission? You create that mission for that day. A lot of people be trying to create for a whole week, but then you can't even tackle a day. So when you wake up, you create that mission for a day. And as you go through your day after you create that mission, you start connecting with certain people. Use your sources. I've learned that you can't, closed mouths don't get fed. And I'm just now getting in the element where I open my mouth to ask people for help because I've been so used to, riding this way by myself. I have trust issues. I feel like people will utilize me, and then once they done. But it's connect with your peers. And then after you create the mission, after you connect with your peers and your sources, execute that plan. Because people say it's all about starting something. But what they don't realize is you can start it all day and then stop and not fully execute what you started. So now you got a table laid out full of different blueprints of different projects that you want for your life. But you got 5 projects in
Mhm.
front of you. And out of those 5 projects, you done started every last one of them, and not one have you executed to this day. And you look at your table every time, and you be like, "Imma get back to it. Imma get back to it. Imma get back to it." But when are you gonna finish it? When are you gonna finish it? And that beats you down mentally because you're never going to finish those projects. So yes, it's cool to start it. Yes, you are already on the good foot by starting whatever project you want for yourself. But it's all about consistency and connecting with the right people to push you forward to execute that plan. So create your mission each and every day you wake up. Connect with your sources regardless of who it is. As long as you know it's a reliable source that's there for you and your better good judgment, connect with those people. And last but not least, make sure you execute that plan that you have put your best foot forward to do. So that's the create, connect, and execute.
And execute. Like you said, you in my lane, and even, your mom, she'll tell you that, I'm all about some, go get it.
Yeah,
Like, go get it. You can talk about it all day. Like, and I tell some of my clients sometime, we don't need to talk again until I see you make some progress.
right.
Because, they say talk is cheap. No, talk is free. It ain't just cheap, it's free. It might talk. It might talk. You talk. You say what you're gonna do, but until I see you moving. So execution is the key. And I'm so glad you brought that out. You said that things start to click when clarity, consistency, and confidence all lined up at the same time. But can you give me a specific moment? Was there a show? Was there a listener response? Was there a booking, a conversation? Was there something that happened where you said, okay, this thing is real now?
I had 3 instances where it was kind of like clarity for me that I'm in the right lane. It was clarity for me that I need to stay consistent with this because there is something on the back end of this. Back when Archibald and Woodrow's was up on the hill and they were doing comedy shows, shout out to comedian Steve Brown. He was doing his Funny First Fridays out there. The owner was Mr. Archibald. So he talked to me, he pulled me to the side. He said, "Hey man," he said, "I wish I had enough money to invest in you." He said, "Because you don't need to be here." He said, "The level of jokes, the level of funny that you bring whenever you come," he said, "I've seen you come up in here months and months and months." And he said, "Every time it's like you improve, you get better. You learn from what you did prior to,
Mm.
and you get better." And that's what this is about. He said, "Your drive." He said, "Your passion, the way you take control of the room when you stand on stage, that is what makes an amazing comedian." And he said, "You're on your way." So that was one instance with clarity for my career. And that's just the stand-up aspect. With my radio career is when you see kids and adults that come up to me and be like, "Your morning message is exactly what I needed
Mm.
to get through my day." I actually had a listener that met me at Walmart while I was working at Walmart and walked up to me and they said, "You don't know me and I don't know you, but I listen to you every morning." And so they was ready to take their life that morning until they heard my message. And it's like at that moment it clicked, like, bro, like I'm on to something. And in that time, it was God reminding me to never doubt your abilities that I've given you. Never doubt once the abilities I have given you, I have blessed you with. Because you got people that do comedy, but when it's God given, you see it. Can't nobody replicate what you're doing when it's God given. That's with any talent that's God given. Nobody can replicate what you're doing. You can teach this person all day, but it's all about the delivery and what flows through your body, what flows out of your mouth. And so those instances right there was like, all right, I see what you're doing, God. We on to something. So yeah, that's that. Even when a pastor told me like, hey, I know how you feeling. You ain't even got to say nothing. I know what you got going on. But better believe you're gonna be in a better place. You're gonna be on a bigger platform. It's on the way. You just gotta stay the race. So yeah, that was 3 instances right there.
You're doing something that I'm not even sure that I knew about. You mentioned stepping into playwriting as a new dimension. So what does that bring to the stand-up game, man? What kind of stories are you trying to tell, like through your playwright?
Well, I used to write plays even before I became a comedian. My first play was in 2005. Shout out to my mentor, Denise Travis Holyfield. Shout out
I
to
do
her.
remember that. I
Always.
do remember that. Yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do.
So
Okay.
so I started that back in '05. I did 2 plays. I did Christmas Forever and Lost and Found
Yeah.
at Cornerstone. Those were my 2 plays in '05 and '07. Then I kinda stopped and just started acting and working alongside, Miss Denise. And so, now I'm at a point now where I want to exhaust all of my abilities when it comes down to writing, singing, acting, whatever. I wanna exhaust all of my avenues because you always got this saying where if you don't utilize your God given talent that God gave you, it can go away just like that. So I'm in a realm now where I've been working on a script for like 3 years. So I'm trying to finalize that so that I can present that to the world. And that also with that writing helps with my comedy as well. So I just want to give the people a view of how it is with comedians on and off stage. Cause even with the dating life, women think that dating a comedian is the best thing in the world because we funny on stage, but then they forget that we're still human off stage. You know what I'm saying? So and it sounds crazy, but most comedians have a lot of emotional things going on with them off stage. So you have to be a strong wielded woman to actually deal with what we got going on outside of the stage. And so I don't never want it to be that narrative like, oh well, when I date a comedian, it's gonna be all laughs and
Yeah.
giggles the
Yeah.
whole time. No, but it will be a ride. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have fun, but you have to understand also you still have to be there for those nights where this comedian is has an off night on stage
Mhm.
where a promoter, a junkie promoter, just tipped him on some money where bills is behind and they trying to figure out now because they're full time comedians, how are we gonna pay these bills and I ain't got no gigs. So it's these aspects that I be wanting people to understand that comedians go through a lot. And are you capable of being alongside this comedian while he goes through this or while she goes through this? So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Glad you mentioned that. Guy had on the podcast recently. He's a magician. He said one thing you got to realize is he says once you finish a set, once you walk off that stage, he said you unemployed until the next time you walk back on.
Yeah.
That's a life right there, boy. That's a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever that person is, looking to be in a relationship with, hey, know that, and
Hey,
come with the
yeah, that's
territory.
it.
Yeah. You talked about wanting to now create opportunities for others, like developing talent, collaborating. What does that structure look like? Are you producing, you managing, you got a mentor program? How does that look?
I don't have a full throttle mentor program. I always tell people that reach out to me, I'm open to helping, but I'm not open to you wasting my time either. If you want to do comedy and you seriously want to do comedy, we can do that. I can show you the ropes. I can take you to open mics. I can help you write. I can help you go over material. But it's up to you whether you want to stay the race. People see me do comedy and they be like, "You look so comfortable on stage. I want to be like that." I know my folks, this is the number one line I hate to hear. My folks tell me I'm funny all the
Oh,
time.
yes.
I hate hearing that DP because, and my folks will tell you, when I first started doing comedy, I didn't even want my folks to come to my
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't want that to be my crutch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want them to be the reason why I felt like I was so funny. If my folks laugh, I know I'm killing. No, I wanted to be in front of people that knew nothing about me, that once I made them laugh, I knew this is it. This joke is hitting. That joke is hitting because I'm standing in front of people that, don't know me. So when it comes down to people wanting to be like, "Hey man, I want to do comedy, this, that, and the third," that's cool. So now I'm gonna take you through the ringer. I'm gonna at least give you a snippet of what I went through in the beginning. And this era of comedy is different from when I first started 11 years ago because social media had just started picking up around 2015. So, like, that era of having all the followers and stuff like that, that wasn't even a thing back then. So it was really like you gotta get it out the mud. If you ain't funny on stage, then hey, it is what it is. But now it's different. People focus more so on them numbers and them followers. And it's like, well, they laugh at my skits, but you can't take them skits on stage and keep a crowd's attention for an
Right.
hour.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 30 minutes, 25 minutes. You can't do that. Like I said, I don't have a mentorship per se, but I'm very open to helping people, especially when I see that they are taking this serious. I definitely step in and be like, "Hey, this is what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Make sure you network. Make sure you talk to this person. Make sure you talk to that person." So I'm definitely there with that.
I do admire comedians because even though like and I feel what we do a lot of speaking, a lot of
Uh,
motivate speak, a lot of training. I can train 10 groups and I can use the same training.
yeah.
Like you can't use the same jokes over no
No.
because they gonna be like, oh, I done heard that. That ain't fun no more. So you got you gotta always be like reinventing yourself. You gotta always
Yeah.
be pulling from life or I think what I call it crowd work, which is
Yeah.
kind of like impromptu. So you always got to be getting new material. So yeah, so those that have an interest in that mentoring, just know that it's work.
It
It's
is.
work. So that I definitely see a need for that. You've been in the game for 11 years, so we definitely can. I can talk to you offline about that, how to get that structured up and get that program going. A couple more questions. I'm gonna let you go. Man. I appreciate you coming on. You said you define success as impact and peace, not money and metrics. So, for someone who's been conditioned to measure success solely by numbers, how do you get them to shift that definition without making it sound like an excuse for not hitting goals?
Yeah. Like I said before, it's for me, it's more so about the peace of mind. When I first started, I wasn't even in it for the money. I was in it for the peace and clarity of really making sure that my folks was happy for me. You know what I'm saying? At one point in my life, I felt like I was a failure. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, man, I done graduated high school, I done went to college, and I done played around, and and college ain't looking like it's gonna be for my life. So what can I do now to to feel like I'm successful and feel like my folks are not disappointed in me? But there's one thing about a child: when your parents tell you they ain't mad, they disappointed, they hit you different.
Yeah.
They hit you different. And so comedy has brought me peace. Comedy saved my life mentally because I was definitely in a dark place where it's like I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. And a friend of mine was like, as much as you laugh and jank and talk every day, you need to try comedy. Shout out to my homeboy MacArthur Brown Jr. So he was one of those ones to push me out there and for me to figure out this is where you need to be, this is where you belong. And that became my peace. So I'm not sitting here telling everybody that it ain't always about money because I do charity work. So I do stuff for free all the time. I've done church events, some church events for free. I'm not sitting there saying every church. Don't get now. Don't watch this.
For the record, yeah.
Yeah, I want to put this disclaimer out here. Don't watch this episode and be like, "Oh, he finna come to my church and talk for free." No, no, no. But I have done those in the past. I have done charity work. I usually do annual events where I do lupus. I acknowledge lupus. I acknowledge breast cancer and March of Dimes every year, annually. And those are my charity events that I stick to. But other than that, like it's okay to do free work sometimes, but don't allow that to be your threshold. Because like I said earlier, value yourself. My peace is knowing that I'm able to go out and be able to talk amongst people because in the beginning it was said I wasn't gonna be able to walk, wasn't gonna be able to do none of this stuff that I'm doing now. So to go from me not being able to or being spoke over my life that I won't be able to walk to now I'm a stand-up comedian of 11 years is a whole nother different viewpoint over my life. So that will forever bring me peace.
And I'm gonna close out here, but I do want to mention, man, one joke you told. I was crying. You had said that joke. It was out there at I think that event out in Northport. I
Yeah.
got pulled over by the cops. He got out the car. He thought he had a runner. Boy,
Yeah.
this dude's stupid. This dude's
And that is real life because I was nervous when I
yeah,
got
yeah.
pulled over. I was nervous. I called my folks. I said, I'm headed to Big Mama's, but I done got pulled over on this back road, headed towards Foster's. So I'm just letting y'all know where I'm at. And my pops, he a man of a few words. So he was like, what did you do? I said, I was doing 75 and 45. He said, dude, call me back. So when he hung up and the police walked up and he was like, step out the car. And when I was so nervous, when I failed, it was over with. I said, yeah, this is a scary moment right now, but it's definitely I'm finna
This
use this in
this
my
is good
arsenal.
material.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, for listeners, man, who want to follow your journey, catch you on the radio, pull up to a show. How do they find LP, comedian LP, and anything coming up, any events coming up right now?
Okay, absolutely. You can follow me on social media, comedian_LP on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and X. YouTube is comedian Lamar Pullom. There's LamarPullom. Also, my Facebook page is Lamar Pullom, LamarPullom. Listen up to me every morning on 105 on the block from Monday through Saturday, 6 to 10. Monday through Friday, I have a midday show from 10 to 2, and then my Sunday shows are from 2 to 7. I have a upcoming event, June the 20th at the Renaissance Theater in Utah, Alabama. You can get those tickets, go to mickeycarey.com. Uh, Also, I have a major event. Now, this is exclusive, DP. I have a major event coming up in August. I will be having my own show, headlining my own show at the Bama Theater downtown. August the 8th, A Night to Remember with LP.
Let's
A to
go.
Z Productions presents A Night to Remember with LP. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I got the ticket link and the flyer that I will be putting up soon. So make sure y'all look out for that August the 8th.
August the 8th. Absolutely, man. Look, we're gonna go ahead and this if you listen to this now, I don't know when you're gonna be listening to this. But when we get that link, man, shoot it to me. We'll put that down in the comments. And so everybody that take a look at this, go ahead. Let's support local right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming on. Look, I'm proud of you. I've watched your life from little baby to
Right.
full man. Man, you should have. Hey, little bad joker too, boy.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
joking this
I
with
was at
you. But I am still proud of you. I watch your work over these last few years. I'm just proud of the man you become. So much success, much success.
I appreciate you, DP.
Success. Hey guys, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing more encouraging, more informational shows like this. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Execution Lab. Until next time, go get it.